Bon retour sur les antennes de CRTV News. On va remercier Daniel Menanga ce matin pour le journal en langue française, le journal de 8 heures. Mesdames et messieurs, si vous avez convenance, ce matin, on va prendre les tabloïds. Que dit la presse? Quelles sont les informations traitées par la presse camerounaise ce matin? Tabloïd, version française, c'est une présentation de Debbie Kembe.
Bonjour à tous, j'espère que vous allez bien, soyez les bienvenus. Je suis donc à Tabloïd sur la CRTV, lundi 30 août 2021. Commençons la lecture de vos unes par un chiffre donc, nous allons le voir tout à l'heure et c'est l'œil du Sahel qui ce matin nous le rappelle, chiffre donc sur le coronavirus, nous rappelle donc que le coronavirus est bel et bien parmi nous et continue sa folle course et c'est l'œil donc du Sahel qui tire la sonnette d'alarme ce matin, 1250 nouvelles infections. En 15 jours, infections enregistrées sur l'étendue du territoire national. Où sont passés nos masques? Que faisons-nous des mesures barrières? Pourquoi ce relâchement? L'œil du Sahel s'interroge. Éco-santé maintenant. Éco-santé également en kiosque ce lundi est sur l'infection à coronavirus. Éco-santé souligne que la troisième vague a déjà causé 15 décès entre le 10 et le 25 août en cours. Et selon la situation épidémiologique officielle, cette nouvelle vague intervient dans un contexte marqué par la circulation du variant Delta, l'hésitation vaccinale à quelques jours de la rentrée scolaire. Une rentrée scolaire 2021-2022 annoncé ou du moins déploré sans argent par Eco News à 7 jours donc de la rentrée ou du moins de la reprise des cours. Les parents ne se bousculent pas dans les librairies et établissements scolaires. Approchés par la rédaction d'Eco News, il dit ses parents ne pas avoir assez d'argent pour subvenir aux charges et avoue attendre les paiements des factures au ministère des Finances pour envoyer leur progéniture à l'école d'eau. Cette photo du ministre des Finances aux côtés de celle des ministres de l'Éducation de base et des enseignements secondaires pour illustrer les préparatifs sans argent. C'est à lire dans les colonnes d'Eco News ce matin. On retrouve donc l'économie à présent avec intégration, la tribune des communautés intégration titre donc cette semaine sur le New Deal CEMAC FMI. L'hebdomadaire de Thierry Dong Owona indique que les accords de seconde génération entre les États de la CEMAC et le FMI devront à la fois réduire les déficits macroéconomiques, favoriser la croissance et la réduction de la pauvreté. D'après Intégration, le New Deal, le CEMAC FMI est un appel aux pays de la CEMAC à compter sur leurs propres forces à travers des budgets sécurisés. On reste en économie avec l'économie report de Thierry Ekouti ce matin qui nous fait d'ailleurs l'économie des rencontres des entrepreneurs francophones en nous révélant ce que les patrons camerounais on dit à Paris à l'invitation du mouvement des entreprises de France. C'était la semaine dernière où il était question pour ces entrepreneurs francophones d'explorer de nouvelles opportunités d'affaires. C'est également à lire sur 2 pages dans l'économie report. En perspective ce matin, le financier d'Afrique, le billet hebdomadaire donc, s'intéresse à la gouvernance et titre sur ces directeurs généraux des entreprises d'État devant passer devant le Conseil constitutionnel. L'audience est prévue le 7 septembre prochain, c'est à Yaoundé. Et à l'éveil républicain maintenant, l'éveil républicain de dire à son tour que pour violation des textes, le Conseil constitutionnel est aux trousses des hors-la-loi. En image, vous le voyez, ces patrons des entreprises qui continuent, d'après l'éveil républicain, à faire de vieux os dans les postes où ils semblent avoir obtenu du président de la République des titres fonciers 9 ans après. Tribune et succession, rebondissement chez les Fotso, ainsi titre Camer Presse ce lundi. Camer Presse, pages 4 et 5, retrouvez donc l'état des lieux de la dispute d'une grande fortune avec la contestation des dernières volontés du père. C'est Camer Presse, entre-temps, au tribunal criminel spécial, Émergence, a suivi Mebe Ngoo livrer les secrets de l'origine de sa fortune. La révélation est à lire à la page 5, parution du 30 août d'Émergence. Essingan, le verbe immortel est lui sur la route Ntui Mankim. Sur cet axe, le journal dit constater le jeu de massacre du directeur général de l'Agence de régulation des marchés publics. Les détails de ce jeu sont également à découvrir dans les colonnes d'Essingan. Afrique Info invite à lire, Afrique Info à présent invite donc à lire l'appel de Sa Majesté Samuel Libok Mbey, le chef traditionnel de 3e degré du village Makai, demande à tous les fils et filles Bassa Mpo Bati qui ont des attaches de quelque nature que ce soit avec la brigade anti-sardinard de se désolidariser de cette organisation criminelle. Sa Majesté condamne avec la dernière énergie d'ailleurs toutes les attaques visant le président de la République Paul Biya, comme ce fut il y a quelques semaines à Genève en Suisse. Réalité plus de Paul Le Guaré Kindji ce matin défend le mandat de Cécile Akamefoumou, la présidente de la Croix-Rouge camerounaise, aux distributeurs des tracts qui veulent troubler ces actions. Réalité Plus rappelle que son mandat roule jusqu'en 2026. Depuis donc maintenant les geôles de Côte d'Ivoire. On va retrouver Mutation. Hortense Marie-Pauline Mbella dans Mutation appelle donc au secours les autorités camerounaises. Mutation se charge donc de porter ce cri de détresse. Incarcéré depuis 10 mois à la maison d'arrêt et de correction d'Abidjan pour des raisons jugées arbitraires et s'estimant abandonnées par l'ambassade du Cameroun en Côte d'Ivoire. Cette Camerounaise que vous voyez en image ici, donc, implore dans une lettre ouverte l'intervention du chef de l'État. Ma galère ivoirienne, titre Mutation en kiosque. Sur un autre cri maintenant, un cri nous venant cette fois depuis les forêts de la région du centre, c'est le temps du Mbam. Le temps du Mbam-Ekim qui nous dit que les planteurs sont aux abois de ce côté-là. Le journal fait remarquer l'invasion des chenilles défoliatrices, des larves de papillons qui sont friandes des plantes aromatiques. Des hectares de cacao culture sont en danger, du moins décimés par ces invités inattendus. Si rien n'est fait, le Mbam-Ekim, premier producteur de cacao, verra alors et ce crève-cœur pour les Camerounais, l'homosexualité. L'hebdomadaire aujourd'hui en kiosque ce lundi donc en parle et peut-être avec des larmes un peu sur du papier. Selon le journal Aujourd'hui, en l'espace d'un mois, des Camerounais de la diaspora ont officialisé leur union avec des Occidentaux de même sexe en dépit de la loi camerounaise qui condamne ce phénomène. Le professeur Claude Abbé s'insurge contre cette diversion de trop. Aujourd'hui donc propose un dossier sur ces hommes, épouses qui déshonorent le Cameroun. Et nous voici en sport. On veut la CAN, titre Cameroun Tribune, pour rappeler l'un des objectifs assignés au staff des Lions Indomptables. Antonio Conceição et ses adjoints François Omambiyik et Jacques Songo ont signé vendredi dernier un nouveau contrat de 2 ans. Et puis l'autre objectif est la qualification de l'équipe nationale de football au Mondial Qatar 2022. Et pour finir, c'est la voix du centre, donc la voix des jeunes en kiosque qui darde ses flèches sur Mbombo Njoya, abattu en plein vol. Lecture, page 4. Nous n'en dirons pas plus pour ce tour d'horizon qui s'achève donc. Ainsi, on espère tout simplement avoir pu stimuler en vous l'envie de lire parce que la presse était chez vous juste pour une mise en bouche. La suite, vous le savez, c'est dans les kiosques pour ceux qui adorent l'odeur de l'encre et le froufrou du papier. Les internautes peuvent également cliquez sur les liens e-kiosque. À tous, bonne lecture, bon lundi, bon début de semaine. Prenons rendez-vous même lieu, même heure, demain mardi, toujours sur la CRTV. C'était Tabloïd.
Merci beaucoup, Déby Kembe, pour les tabloïds de ce matin, la version française. Mesdames et messieurs, je vous propose de parler ce matin de la page économique, l'actualité du jour. C'est avec Ewane Paulet qui nous a rejoint dans ce studio. La page éco, c'est tout de suite. Page éco de ce matin avec Ewane Paulet. We begin with the first part. You know, always the new information or the new information of the day, talking about the economy.
Yeah, good morning to our televiewers, and I'm happy to join you again this fresh Monday morning. And we're already here to give you the latest in regard to what make news in the economic sector in Cameroon and abroad. Commenting right away with what is going to take place today, the Minister of Public Works, Emmanuel Nganu Njumesi, will preside over a ceremony today, and this is in regard to the handing over of transfer. There is a transfer of competence. There is on the CTD, you know, the Ministry of Public Works is in charge of the major construction projects of the country, and the Minister of Public Works, Emmanuel Nganu Njumesi, just rounded off a working visit in the far north region of Cameroon. And away from that, we talk about the 12th edition of the annual cross-border fair, that is for track, launched recently in QC, the Cameroon border town to the Gabon and Equatorial Guinea. And you know, this forum aims at awakening the collaboration between the government and the private sector to boost intra-regional trade. Peace, that is for peace, socio-economic development, as well as cultural development. So that's what is going to make news today.
For the news of today, let's continue our economic page talking this morning, reflecting on government subvention to Lai private school in Cameroon.
Yeah, we now talk about the subvention, government subvention to the lay private education sector. Remember, about some 2 weeks ago, the Ministry of Basic Education and that of Secondary held a workshop during which those of the private sector, the stakeholders of the private sector were involved, and some key personalities of government to discuss about this issue of subventions to lay private education. And these subventions are in regard to supporting the teachers in order to educate our children for a successful results. Let's take a listen as we, of course, took stock of the situation in some of the schools, whether they have been receiving these subventions or not.
As to school resumption, proprietors of lay private nursery, primary and secondary schools in the country have urged government to increase its yearly subvention in order to ameliorate teachers' salaries. This was during a workshop organized recently by the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education. During the forum, proprietors and principals of private institutions of learning presented their situation.
We have recruited about 150 teachers. The mass salary situation is very enormous. We have about more than 20 million francs paid each month. We have been receiving subventions from the government, although it is not much, but it helps us to pay these teachers. You know, if you look at the results of Amazia, it stands to the fact that the salary situation is regular. We have affiliated the teachers in the National Social Insurance Fund. Those who have children, they always receive their family allowance each month, pay their salary through the bank. And with the bank, like towards this period of school reopening, they are being assisted with loans. We cannot compare with the government in terms of the amount each person receives, but it is regular. Like I myself talking here, I don't regret being working here. I expect the government to see, as they started with talking about contract with private schools, why not intervene so that we see the teachers in the private sector should receive the same thing as those in the public sector. As you see, we have all the structures put in place. We have the laboratories. We have the computer lab. You know, this school is an accommodation center. So if we look at the subvention given to us, it's not really much, but we wish the government should increase the subvention, especially in the technical education. And I also like that the parents should always collaborate with the school authorities.
Many other private schools in Cameroon are still to benefit from government subvention.
As a lay private school, but very close to the religious setup, I'm sorry to say that we have not had any state subvention from its creation up to the moment. We have been compiling the documents. We have filed in the documents to the Secretariat for Lay Private Schools, and the school has not had any state subvention. But the proprietor and management of the school has been doing all to see that the working conditions of the teachers is better off so that they can produce good results, which have been going on through the years. Boarding schools in the city of Yaoundé that pays its teachers regularly and up to date a good amount. The teachers negotiate a salary that could help them fit with the necessities of the city of Yaoundé and meet up with their basic needs to be able to sponsor their children, to be able to meet with their family needs, pay their rents and meet their necessary demands of home and maybe family. And so the salaries of the teachers of the school are up to date. I will bet you take into consideration the fact of longevity, your qualification, and your input. Management regularly increases salary as the years pass by. You stay with them for some time. After 2 years, there's a biannual increment in salary to meet up with the demands of the workers, so that all the workers are also registered with the CNPS. With state subvention to assist the proprietor and the management of the school in the payment of teachers' salaries, which have been paid all through the year anyway, but if they come in, you uplift that burden from management, whom I see not out to make profit from running the school venture, but to nurture and bring Cameroonians to the limelight. With the GCE results and the performance of the children at that end of course examination, GCE and the technical and vocational education examination was excellent. At an advanced level, in 11 papers, 23 students passed in 11 papers, with the first candidate scoring 4 A grade and 1 B grade. At the ordinary levels, a good number of them passed in 11 papers. There are about 24 of them with 11 papers, and the first 2 candidates have 11 papers, 10 A grade and 1 B grade each. With this quality of results, our intention is to prepare the grounds so that next year we could maintain this high quality and even go higher than that. In a boarding setup, there are 3 major components we need to think of in order to bring the children up right. You must think of their feeding, you must think of the quality of teaching, and we must think of their spiritual and extracurricular life. The PTA too is a veritable partner to the bringing up of these children. They support us in many ways. The school equally runs other activities that are enticing to the children. We have a fish pond where we rear fish for the children to use in their laboratories for dissection, and thereafter they also use the fish for their meals. The school has an ultra-modern laboratory for both practicals of the science subjects, food and nutrition and food sciences. We equally have a computer lab complex where the children carry out practicals. I bet you that the children who live from here are well prepared to face the dispensations of the present challenges of the society.
This is expected to help enhance collaboration between the public and the private education sector, thereby ameliorating pupils' and students' performance in schools and colleges.
And of course, we're talking about government subventions to the private education sector in Cameroon. And there is hope for a brighter future for our children. Now, let's talk about the tourism sector. You know, Cameroon is preparing to host the AFCON 2021 that will be holding early next year. And the tourism sector is being developed. There is to portray the image of our country. And this will also help to boost and develop, that is to boost economic growth. So we have the issue of Miss Cameroon and the world that is being organized in order to prepare also young girls to receive people that is around beaches in the country and some hosting facilities. Let's take a watch.
The Ministry of Tourism and Leisure has drafted a 7-year development plan after that of 2011 to 2018, focused on the development and promotion of the tourism sector with regards to unity in diversity and cordial living together to enhance economic growth.
For the economy, many things have done. We have developed the site, we have made a lot of promotion, and maybe we have developed infrastructure also.
The election of Miss Tourism for Cameroon and the country's world representatives is one of the move, as a Miss Tourism contest for 2021 just rounded off in Yaoundé, organized by VAHO Consortium.
The first thing for VAHO Consortium is to transform, to help our state to transform their economy. And you know, in the SND, the National Strategy of Development of 2030, we put tourism like a main thing to develop our country. And now in VAHO Consortium, we want to add our contribution for the development of our Cameroon. We use the competition like beautiful girl, because the beautiful girl, when you see beautiful girl speak to you, you make attention to understand what she want to speak about. And we have Africa Cup of African Nation Cup next year, and for the African Cup, we want to send our culture, because after the Africa Cup, someone came to Cameroon to buy and to make tourism, and we have a lot of job for the youth, and we have our economic go on.
The newly designated 6 Miss Tourism for a 2-year mandate are expected to face well competitions in the days ahead.
The Ministry of Tourism and Leisure gave for the lady, firstly, is a technical accompaniment. They will maybe add the knowledge about the competition of my lady.
The next step now is to win the World Organization of Miss Tourism.
The move by government aims at boosting the tourism and leisure sector, and these would not only contribute to socio-economic development, but will also strengthen the feeling of living together among citizens everywhere they find themselves in Cameroon.
They are so beautiful.
Yeah,
I want to follow you on our economic page this morning with the figure of the day, which is 860,000 tons of wheat. There is the number of tons of wheat imported by Cameroon in the year 2020.
Exactly, talking about the figure of the day, it's 860,000 tons of wheat, and this represents the number of tons, that is 860,000 tons of wheat that our country, Cameroon, imported in the year 2020 in order to help, of course, fight against hunger, mostly in some parts of our country like the far north region, the north, and some other parts of the country like the east region that have been suffering from some adverse effects, climate change and droughts, and you know, even some cities in Cameroon times they have difficulties in feeding. So that's why last year the Cameroon government imported 860,000 tons of wheat. That is to add to what we have.
That information puts an end to this news. Thank you very much. I see you next Monday for another edition of Economic Page on CRTV and CRTV News, Cameroon Delight.
Exactly. God willing, next Monday, same time, I'm going to join you, and we hope we'll be bringing you details in the economic sector.
Mesdames et messieurs, c'était la page Éco de ce matin.